Our next guest says $5 trillion is in sight with the company's re-entry into the Chinese market. Melius research analyst Ben Reitzes joins us now. His a buy rating target of 235 for Nvidia. Ben, how important is China, especially given the fact that it's not clear the Chinese government is encouraging some of the bigger customers, potential customers of Nvidia, to buy the H20?
Well, hey, David, good to see you. I think China's pretty important. I mean, that's really the wild card on Wednesday night, whether we can keep it in our model or not. Most people are thinking we won't, sort of like AMD did, where it's more prudent to kind of keep it out. It's at least 10% of sales and 10% of EPS. It was running at about an $8 billion per quarter demand rate. So that's what we're looking at here. Most people didn't have much in it for the quarter that's coming up, the October quarter. But we were hoping that it would be a big boost to the fourth quarter and next year. And I think it's a matter of time. They'll get it in there. And Jensen is unfortunately, has to now kind of be a diplomat even more, kind of because the Chinese government's a little upset about some of the things our Commerce Secretary said. But I have a feeling it'll all work out. They really need the chips, David.
They do. So there's no real replacement for the chips. Huawei and some of the other domestic so-called competitors can't really compete here?
In our opinion, we've seen a lot of fodder around the Huawei chips, and they just really don't stack up. I think that really the key here is that an American stack needs to run AI globally so that China can't get better at it and export that stack to Europe and our allies. And I think that the administration knows that. And I do feel right now that even the H20 is well ahead of what they have, and especially the software stack. There's a lot of things you can do with the CUDA stack that helps you optimize the chips, even those that are, let's say, pushed down in terms of performance. So I think right now it's a critical time, and we need to make sure that Huawei doesn't gain advantage. And right now they are still pretty far behind.
It's a positive scenario that you lay out there for Nvidia long term, if in fact it's going to be this American stack that's running things globally. But if you were to present that to the Chinese authorities right now, are they willing to just buy into that, or do they feel as if having access to chips now is going to be a bridge to something down the road where they can develop domestic expertise?
Well, look, I think right now we're in an AI arms race globally. You got to get your hands on the compute to train and optimize the models and then run inferencing. And if you don't have the compute, you can't compete. I mean, one of the good things about having Elon Musk on our side is that he proves every day that more compute does give you advantages. He does seem to be gobbling up as much as he can, and then his models keep getting better. You see Google doing the same thing with their own TPUs, and the more compute right now, the better, and you can get ahead. And China is innovating with models that have certain techniques that don't gobble up as much compute. But I think more compute right now is the way to go. And so I do feel like we got to find a happy medium here, because if you don't invest right now and get the models and get your economy right-sized for AI, you could fall behind. So China's in a bit of a conundrum here. I think they do need the chips. It's just there is some face saving involved right now that you kind of wish didn't have to happen. But I think eventually Jensen will get his chips in there, hopefully by the fourth quarter.
Ben, there's this. With Wall Street on its side and a lot riding on it, Nvidia enters Wednesday's earnings. With $46.45 billion in sales and $1.02 to adjusted EPS projected, analysts anticipate that the AI chipmaker will deliver another fantastic quarter. Compared to a year ago, that represents a growth of over 50%. China is the main subplot. Nvidia issued a warning earlier this year that U.S. export restrictions might cost it up to $8 billion in sales, potentially incurring a $4.5 billion charge related to its H20 processors. Even after being modified to comply with U.S. regulations, those processors generated $17 billion in revenue last year, or around 13% of Nvidia's total. Now, Nvidia has a path forward thanks to a new agreement with the Trump administration. The business can continue exporting chips into China in return for 15% of China H20 revenues. The B30A, a new CPU made only in China, is Nvidia's next move, and this compromise not only protects a significant market. The chip, which is based on Blackwell architecture but has been purposefully reduced to around half the power of the flagship B300, appears to be made to balance Beijing's demands with Washington's red lines. The stakes are high. An estimated $50 billion is spent annually on AI chips in China. Nvidia may still take a sizable chunk of that pie even with hardware that is reduced. Investor optimism is not being concealed. Nvidia is rated as a buy by 12 of the 13 analysts that Visible Alpha tracks. Target prices are as high as $225, which is significantly higher than Friday's close of about $178. In recent weeks, Morgan Stanley, UBS, and Wedbush all increased their numbers, citing the increasing need for AI. This year, the stock has already experienced dramatic swings, dropping 37% from record highs before making a spectacular recovery. Nvidia is only 4% behind its all-time high going into results. Another surge might be sparked by Wednesday's beat and raise. Stifel noted robust momentum in its AI infrastructure business and solid demand projections for the company's next-generation GB300 processors in a note on Monday, raising its price target on Nvidia shares from $202 to $212. The stock was rated as a buy by the firm. Prior to Nvidia's fiscal second quarter 2026 results on August 27th, Stifel stated that it anticipates a beat-raise scenario due to the resumption of H20 sales in July and the widening demand for GB300 infrastructure. Even if GB200 demand is still strong, the analyst said that supply chain conversations still indicate expectations for ramping up GB300 orders toward year-end. In light of recent worries about an AI bubble and reports of a lackluster GPT-5 launch, Stifel noted that investor attention is likely to stay focused on three areas. 1. Hyperscaler demand and the sustainability of infrastructure investment. 2. Potential incremental impacts related to China export restrictions and growing calls for self-reliance. And 3. Potential margin pressure on early GB300 ramps. The bank stated that it is still confident in Nvidia's position in spite of these reservations. According to the experts, Nvidia's dominant position in AI infrastructure is still uncontested, and as inference and reasoning complexity continue to rise, we anticipate that the GB300 specs' 50% better FP4 performance will continue to be best in class. Regarding pricing, Stifel stated, "We still think shares are attractively valued in light of AI's ongoing leadership positioning." As AI-related spending picks up speed, Nvidia has been at the focus of investor debate. Its impending results are viewed as a crucial indication of the endurance of demand. After the bell on Wednesday, Nvidia will release its second quarter results, capping out big tech's earnings season. The story follows a series of actions by the corporation and the Trump administration, including the revocation of Trump's previous restriction on Nvidia's chips being sold to China and the requirement that the AI behemoth pay the government a 15% share of its sales into the nation. Trump imposed a 15% tax in August after first banning the sale of chips to China in April and then lifting the prohibition in July. Nvidia stated on its Q1 earnings call that it anticipates suffering a $8 billion decline in Q2 earnings. Additionally, Trump declared that unless businesses agree to develop in the U.S., he will impose a 100% tariff on semiconductor shipments into the nation. The tariff should not apply to Nvidia. As of Monday, Nvidia's stock was up 40% over the previous 12 months and 35% so far this year. Nvidia became the first business to reach $4 trillion in market valuation in July. According to Bloomberg analyst consensus forecasts, Nvidia is anticipated to announce adjusted earnings per share, EPS, of $1.01 on revenue of $46.2 billion for the quarter. In the same quarter last year, the company's sales was $30 billion, and its adjusted EPS was $0.68. That translates to revenue growth of 53% and EPS growth of 49% year-over-year, respectively. In Q2 of last year, the company's revenue increased by 122%, and its EPS increased by 151%. After seeing enormous growth spikes at the start of the AI boom, Nvidia's EPS and revenue growth have slowed over the last few quarters. Nvidia's growth is expected to bottom out at 50%, according to Evercore ISI analyst Mark Lipacis. This might draw in additional momentum investors and lead to multiple expansions. It is anticipated that data center revenue would reach $41.2 billion in Q2, up from $26.2 billion in the same period last year. It is anticipated that Nvidia's second-largest segment, gaming, will reach $3.8 billion. during Nvidia's earnings call on Wednesday, investors will be watching for additional shipment ramping of the company's GB200 superchip, the ramp of its next Blackwell Ultra processor, AI spending, and feedback on sales in China. According to a note sent to investors by KeyBanc Capital Markets analyst John Vin, we believe rack shipments are on track to exit calendar fourth quarter at 15K, 17K racks and believe full-year Grace Blackwell rack shipments are tracking closer to 30K versus our prior estimate of 25K. This is due to improving GB200 rack manufacturing yields at server original design manufacturers, which we believe are approaching 85%. However, Vin cautioned that if Nvidia chooses not to include direct income from chip sales into China for the period, he thinks Q3 forecast will fall short of mainstream estimates. On the basis of robust GB200 sales, Baird's senior research analyst Tristan Guerra provided a similarly optimistic prognosis for July quarter EPS and revenue expectations. Matt Bryson, a Wedbush analyst, increased the company's price objective for Nvidia from $175 to $210 based on positive comments regarding the company's shipments and demand. In a note to investors, he stated, "We remain convinced that the expansion of announced hyperscale spending will primarily develop AI capabilities and ultimately end up going to Nvidia, which provides a disproportionate amount of the AI server value." Based on its Blackwell architecture, Nvidia is also developing a new chip for the Chinese market, but selling it in that country would require Trump's assent. In recent weeks, the Chinese government has also issued a warning to local businesses about the potential backdoor security vulnerabilities associated with Nvidia's chips. Nvidia is collaborating with the Chinese government to resolve the issue and has refuted the accusation. In summary, Nvidia continues to be the spokesperson for the AI revolution. Investors placing large bets may profit once more if the China workaround holds and Blackwell chips continue to rush off the shelves. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.
We briefly mentioned Nvidia this week, but obviously this is huge. This is the week people were waiting for. What are the analysts saying? What are you watching? Good morning, Jenny.
Good morning, Nicole. And I definitely think that we know that two friends of the market lately have been Jensen Huang as well as Jerome Powell. But now there will be a critical test, especially for the overall read on tech when Nvidia does report this Wednesday. So I'm sure we will be covering in depth pretty much every session until then, because there's a reason this has become the most valuable company, and now by a sizable margin. We saw a pullback last week, as right now there just seems to be some degree of hesitation or perhaps just profit taking at around all-time highs because of the sky-high levels that we've seen Nvidia remain at. And I know we've pulled back from those highs and actually pulled back last week when you look at the week-to-date performance, but right now, this is definitely going to be a critical test, especially because we've already heard some different tones coming out of, various software CEOs, as well as CEO Sam Altman of OpenAI did compare the current market enthusiasm for AI investments to the conditions during the dot-com boom and bust just 2 decades ago. So we also heard from Meta last week freezing its AI hiring. That also put a bit of a dampened tone on the overall market. And there definitely does seem to be a slight shift as far as just the overall enthusiasm right now tied to the rally behind Nvidia. We've now pulled back about 3.5% from those levels. But then you look at the sell side, and I'd say there's no reason for concern. Last week, I covered nothing but price target raises and, really enthusiastic conviction. Wedbush was one that said they still believe in a huge bullish thesis for the mass AI potential. Baird also raising its price target on Nvidia to 225 from 195 with an outperform rating. They're also increasing their revenue and earnings estimates, citing this significant acceleration for GB200 sell-through shipments in July. And they expect ongoing shipment momentum for Nvidia and XAI shipments weighted to fiscal fourth quarter. Also highlighted, GB300 is on track for an initial late September launch, which does represent some significant performance upgrades versus the prior version of the GP200. So Stifel, another one raising their price target a bit more modestly to 212 from 202 with a buy rating. Also, do expect another report of a beat as far as guidance, as well as H20 shipments, which resumed back in July, coupled with this accelerating demand again for that GB300 infrastructure. And their supply chain checks continue to point to expectations for further ramp of those GB300 orders for year end, even as the sustained momentum does continue for the prior iterations. So all in all, you look at the sell side and you think there was no reason to be concerned, but some of these various fund managers I was reading about were saying, hey, we took some of our exposure off the table because this does provide an element of risk when Nvidia has become as top heavy as it frankly has. But I do think that overall, it always seems now in the last couple of reports, one of the biggest risks is that we expect this degree of huge volatility and expect movement in either direction, and then it ends up having a fairly muted session. So I just hope for some movement here, but I guess neutral is also still not a bad place to see things end up, of course, once we get those numbers Wednesday.
Yeah, and look, it's really interesting to see some of these price target raises ahead of the numbers, so they're still believers, even with the what's been going on. I don't even know how to describe it with what has been going on with China, the back and forth. Are they able to send chips, not able to? Do they send certain chips? The 15% of the revenue that needs to be given to the government, the Blackwell chip that is getting prepared for China. There's just been, and also the skepticism over the kinds of chips from China. They're worried that the chips from Nvidia may not be the right ones or the good ones or whatever. So there seems to be obviously the wild card there, but that's not the main thing for Nvidia, obviously.
No, but I do think that will be a critical test, as I think China has never been more of a conversation surrounding Nvidia. And it's like almost the geopolitical blowback we've seen now weigh on, unfortunately, their expected revenue for the coming quarters. They have handled this in the past. It has always been my argument is they've been able to adjust to various export controls in the past quite well. I mean, better than their competition. And they're able to also churn out new iterations of each of their various chips faster than they were just 5 years ago. So that's encouraging, but definitely I think that in regards to some of the news we got last week, that they were already yanking some of their suppliers, the H20. I mean, like demand was read as a negative, but I think that perhaps that could mean that we're seeing another chip in the workings, and that will be a major question that needs to be answered on this earnings call.